Welcome to Was It Good, the podcast that reviews movies and TV shows. Today, we are taking a look at Netflix's newest original film, The Bubble, written by Judd Apatow.
And directed.
I
think it's Apatow.
Probably.
I like Apatow, though.
As always, I'm Ravi, joined by...
Arjuna, the cool one.
And
I'm Krishna, and I have a baby Grogu.
He has a Grogu.
Didn't someone sell you that Grogu after
Yes.
getting that Grogu for free?
I spent $20 to buy this Grogu.
That is now in the back of your indoor set here.
Yeah, for those
Yes.
for our
It's now in my
audio-only listeners who can see Krishna, he has 2 Star Wars things and 2 Pokemon things. So we can tell those are his 2 biggest fandoms.
Pokemon and Star Wars.
And soon I will have an Attack on Titan mural going right here.
You should paint that yourself. That'd be kind of cool.
I rent. I don't own. So that seems like a bad idea.
Why? You could just paint it over when you're done.
It's true. Or you could paint it on a canvas.
I am no
canvas.
artiste.
So just like The Bubble, I mean, if we were put into a pandemic again, this is a project that you could work on.
Professional transition right there.
I know.
Yeah.
Almost as professional as the movie itself.
Did you find the
that a
movie to be
spoiler?
awkward, professional, needed, not needed? What? What's everyone feeling about the movie?
Oh,
and real quick, tell me in one word.
Chaotic.
Should I go?
Oh, wow. So
Chaotic?
Yeah, my one word was going to be chaotic. The movie itself is just a weird, chaotic movie. There is no central character. There's just a lot of, it's an ensemble cast that never really knows exactly where it's trying to net out. I don't know what the message or the point of the movie itself was, besides to...
Circle jerk Hollywood.
Or to have a vacation. It kind of reminds me of Adam Sandler movies these days, where it's I'm going to get together with my buddies. We're going to go somewhere. We're going to have a vacation. And while we're doing that, we're going to just kind of turn the cameras on, cobble some scenes together, put it together, and release it. And make some money.
So because we
guess.
are professionals here, so I always have IMDb up so I can
IMDb.
reference whoever in terms of the the stars, directors, and all that
Yes.
fun stuff. But just a quick thing, I don't know if you guys look at IMDb's ratings. Right now, it's sitting at a 4.7 out of 10 on IMDb.
Yeah, I think it's in
That's
the low
far
20s
too high.
for Rotten Tomatoes.
Wait, Chris, you said that's far too high?
4.7 is far too high for that movie.
That is
My-
a little scary.
My one-word impression is shit. Because the movie was shit. It was barely even a movie. Let's be honest.
Man.
It was a collection of scenes that were
Right.
thrown together.
Right.
And I think Arjuna hit the nail on the head. It felt like they were just trying different gags out. Put it this way: I started the movie I think on Thursday
It's a multi-day watch.
or Wednesday. I started on Wednesday or Thursday.
Oh,
I got
Lord.
45 minutes in and I turned it off, and I swore I wouldn't finish it. The only reason I finished it today was for this pod. I was like, okay, let me do my due diligence.
That's better than me and Mad Max, where I just flat out lie to you all.
Which is not
Yeah,
a bad
but-
movie, by the way.
Yeah,
I'm
which
not
is
gonna lie.
a
I'm not
great
gonna lie.
movie, yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I did consider. I was like, I haven't lied to the bros in a while. Maybe I'll just lie again about
that's
this
why
movie.
I sent a text this morning to Christian and Ravi directly, being like, "Did you watch this movie?"
I legitimately,
I hadn't finished it at that point.
I
either.
legitimately had watched the movie, and Lauren's my reference. She will vouch for me that I did watch it. But I think it's funny and interesting that you both said that the movie is a bunch of scenes thrown together in a loosey-goose, somewhat cohesive, somewhat non-cohesive way. And then the movie, big spoiler, obviously, the movie ends where, and I call this, I think, when the documentary guy was introduced, I call this the movie that's going to get shown at the premiere is going to be the documentary. And then the fact that they even went on to, they even say at the very end, hopefully we stick the ending and there's something there. Do you think, that was obviously done intentionally, but do you think that they went too far into the chaos and chaoticness of it that you kind of are like, ha ha ha, yeah.
This felt like a shitty remake of Tropic Thunder.
Lovely.
Ooh.
That's kind of the vibe I got with the movie of it's a movie within a movie and they're trying to say something, but it was presented in a very chaotic 2000 20-ish world.
Right.
And it was kind of presented that way, which is surprising because Judd Apatow, to me, at least with some of his comedies, at least there seems to be more coherence in those other movies than there is in this movie. They didn't feel like there was a through line. There was no consistent characters. The plot was nonsensical at that point. It really, the movie that was presented of them trying to make the movie did feel like a mockumentary almost before it's even presented as a mockumentary.
So you know what's interesting? Like before he did this one, his last one was The King of Staten Island with
Pete Davidson.
Pete Davidson. I never got around to
saw
seeing that
movie.
one. Was that?
It was a good movie.
It was a good movie.
It was an entertaining movie that had a central character and a focus, and had a beginning, middle, and end. This movie had
a movie.
I don't know what like Gavin, for example, the executive character played by Peter. What's his name?
Peter. I'm going to mispronounce it. Sarah Fionn. Which?
Yeah, that guy. He's in Guardians of the Galaxy 1. I know that.
But
his character, like in the opening scene of the movie,
right,
is presented as like the heartless executive, and then they have these scenes where he's reporting to his boss and is trying to be like more heartfelt, and then like at the end you don't really know what he is, and that's all the characters.
He's a producer.
Movie. Yeah, but all of the characters in this movie have like 4 different motivations that completely conflict with each other throughout the entire movie.
So that actually leaves
me. But maybe that's the critique on Hollywood. I mean, that's what this felt like, a satire of a satire of a satire.
It was a circle jerk for Hollywood.
Yeah,
that's all it is. Yeah. And that leads me into my one word, which is I guess 2 words, but I'm going to say it anyway.
It's got to be one word.
TikTok.
Talk.
And I say TikTok because, again, Hollywood likes to do these things where it reflects on itself, good or bad. And obviously, there's a character in this film, I don't know if you guys know this, played by Judd Apatow's daughter.
Right, and his wife is also in the movie, Leslie Mann, who plays one of the main characters, which Judd Apatow has, engages in a lot of nepotism. Like, Leslie Mann is in almost all of his movies. It's in a lead role. He's had his kids in a lot of his movies now as well. They're like the 2 kids in the 40-Year-Old Virgin, which got from the family that gets spun off into This Is 40. So there's a lot of connections.
No, but I say TikTok because like TikTok itself is like chaotic mess and just like when you're on TikTok and you're scrolling, right? You're there for maybe 3-4 seconds and you move on to the next thing. This movie very much kind of, I think, emulates that to a degree, where it is like these characters have 4 different motivations. It keeps changing from scene to scene to scene, very much like what you see on like a TikTok. So I as I'm saying this, I'm wondering, was the movie was the main focus more on just like our attention to our attention spans essentially, as opposed to Hollywood in a pandemic? I think maybe the Hollywood in a pandemic was the framing, and I think it's more on just people in attention spans.
I think that's the issue, though. I think the movie tried to critique and satirize multiple things, and it kind of lost its focus in where it really wanted to be and what it wanted to be about. And it felt like they tried to put gags in, like with one of the characters who like disappears halfway through and he comes back in like the last 2 scenes with a bow and arrow. Like that's part of the satirization, right? And the critique. But it still doesn't make any context within the world and the movie that they built.
It's being considered Apatow's
worst movie.
Worst film.
Christian.
Yeah, if I had to guess, I think the movie is just about like, this collection of really self-centered actors, right? And I think by the end they sort of come together and escape
they're a family
from this money making machine. But again, it's sort of like that's sort of thwarted. Like if that's the theme or the message, it's thwarted by the epilogue. Like because the movie does come out, they all make a bunch of money because of the documentary. So yeah, I'm also a little bit lost on like what the movie is trying to say or what its theme is for sure.
It also felt like this movie was like victim to some of the things that they made fun of like reshoots and like things that you can't get around and you have to kind of go around. And one thing that Sahara pointed out to me when we were watching it was...
Who's Sahara again?
Sahara is my girlfriend.
We haven't done that in a while. We haven't said that in a long time.
But in the helicopter scene in the climax, right? Mm-hmm. The director Fred Armistead's character pulls out the gun, right? A prop gun.
Right.
Do you think it was supposed to fire and they removed that piece with everything that happened with Alec Baldwin and Rust and everything and prop guns misfiring? Because even I noticed there was like bullet holes in the back of that helicopter when they showed it in the wide, and I was like, oh, I think they cut something here. And that would make sense.
Possibly,
It's like something
yeah.
potentially cut.
I mean, I think that's a good thing to remove.
No,
it.
it's a good
Yeah.
cut, but it makes me think like, what else did they potentially cut? Especially like talking about COVID, and there haven't been many of these movies that like directly reference COVID yet. People are still sensitive about it. Like it is a horrible
Because it's not
pandemic that killed a lot of people, and it's still not over.
It's
So
technically
it-
You
not
guys
over,
heard about
right?
this new variant, right? The BA2, is that it? BA12 or something?
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
It's depressing.
There's another one that's out. And suppose we have to get another booster.
Yeah, an extra. Not to go on a COVID tangent here, but I think there's a booster.
We're talking about a movie that's
for,
about we could go on tangents,
but there's
COVID's on
you
the
can
table.
get another booster if you're over 55. I think for Moderna and Pfizer.
Yeah, you should get that. You're over 54
Yeah.
or something.
55.
Well, you should probably get it before the next, con, which is going to be Star Wars Celebration. We're going to be there. And I think is this the first pod since we found out?
Yeah.
Oh, so we're going to announce it real quick right now. We are actually going to be at Star Wars Celebration Anaheim on the podcast stage. Be sure to follow along at Twitter at Was It Good to figure out when we're going to be live and in person. And if you're going to be at Celebration, we'll have stickers for you.
Yeah, come to our stage.
Stickers. I love stickers. We got so many extra stickers from WonderCon.
We tried our best.
did?
Christian had tried his best. You just gave me a sticker.
Sahara Arjuna's girlfriend tried her best.
She did the best.
she demolished.
Yeah, she got that shit out there. But then again, like I guess, if there's like a person who you can see their face is giving you a sticker, as opposed to some creep wearing a mask that you can't see their face, I kind of get it.
We're
Getting
at a
back into
convention.
the bubble, Christian, you have the outline in front of you as always, correct?
Of course, I have to unlock my phone, but I do have it.
Good, because
There we go. I have
as always, Arjuna creates DVD chapter listings, something used in the great decade known as the 90s to explain what was happening during certain events.
Aren't DVDs like early 2000s?
DVD,
Yeah.
well, yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
VHS was
But here's the thing, though.
90s.
When I say like early 2000s, you think 90s.
No, I think the early 2000s.
No, I
Yeah,
think the
those are
90s.
two separate decades.
They're really not. They're basically the same.
I would just want
Yeah.
to say something before this DVD chapter listing is put out.
You did this on the toilet 2 minutes before coming over.
Put as much effort into this chapter listing as I felt they put into this movie.
Interesting. So then
Fair.
a lot of effort went into this.
Fair.
Sure.
No, this movie definitely comes across that there was effort put into it.
Oh, interesting.
Try
But-
hard.
I felt like there was no effort. Put
No,
into
no,
this.
no. But that's the thing. I think they put too much effort, overthought it, and then failed on the delivery. That's what I think.
I just feel like this was a movie that was made pretty quickly and just kind of, let's have fun. And it was just kind of,
How
what it
terrible
was.
of them.
Anyway, Christian, you're going to read the DVD chapter listing as a British royal.
Oh, no.
do it as Stephen from Moon Knight.
No.
Oscar Isaac's
British.
Stephen.
No, a British royal or like higher
Give me a steak.
like crowned person.
Arjuna, that's not a royal. That sounds like an English country bumpkin.
I was trying to go for Oscar Isaac Stephen from Moon Knight.
I can't tell my waking dreams from my
reality.
That's pretty good. Maybe I think you guys should. One of you should read the DVD chapter listing as that guy. That was great.
You go.
Robbie.
We're not breaking tradition.
Oh man. British royal. I'm the queen. Oh God. Can we do a different one? I can't.
No,
I
you're
don't know.
doing this voice. It has
British.
been decided.
Oh.
been decided.
Oh man. Okay. Nebula rejoins the Guardians. Montage time. The first dinner. Not a COVID outbreak. Making a movie is hard. Idris Elba's best friends leave set. Handoff. Descent into madness. Drugs are good for you. Die nature. Get to the chopper. Documentaries are fun.
Wow, wow, wow.
Wow. Oh, we got some laughter in the audience.
Wow, that was good.
And applause.
Oh, and an applause. Wow. Oh, it just abruptly stopped. Weird. It's real. It's real. Yeah.
Live studio audience.
I will say your best chapter is the Idris Elba's best
So
friend.
you got the
Louise.
deep cut?
Yeah.
Turn Up Charlie?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Another great Netflix original.
One season
Fucking
show.
A.
So for Christian and
Yeah,
the
Christian's
audience
confused. He's like,
that
what the fuck are you talking
not
about?
familiar, I think it was like 2019, Idris Elba released a TV show or series on Netflix called Turn Up Charlie where he is a DJ, which is what I think Idris Elba used to be and is before he was an actor. And he's like, I want to make a TV show where I'm a DJ.
Struggling DJ
and
artist.
his like one of his closest friends in the show is played by the actor who is the actor in the movie who leaves the set early.
Who shoots the
Who
bow?
wants off the fucking set.
Yeah, who runs off.
Gus Khan is
Yeah,
his name.
That guy.
Yeah.
So that was a deep cut for the Turn Up. All three fans of Turn Up.
I will
Charlie.
say this. Very diverse cast.
Yeah.
Like, I was happy to see that. I thought that was cool. And everyone seemed to get along and have Hollywood problems.
And,
So-
and everyone in the cast, like the cast themselves, like there were interesting characteristics, and the actors seemed to be having a fun time. And Pedro Pascal, I thought was like a real weirdo, which was fun. Which was fun to see.
I will say the parts of the movie that I did enjoy were where it felt like the actors were told just to sort of cut loose. In the context of the movie, it didn't make very much sense, but there were like still some funny scenes, right? I think the one that stands out is the drug scene, the drug trip, when all of their faces are changing.
Yeah, deep fakes. And then
they become the
filters.
deep fakes, right?
Benedict Cumberbatch just appearing.
The Benedict Cumberbatch just appears. Yeah, I mean
I'm Doctor Strange.
yeah, exactly. Doctor Strange did appear technically in this movie.
Well, and what's the guy's name from X-Files? David
Duchovny.
Duchovny. He actually might have been my favorite. He was really funny in this, just to see him play like a douchebag.
Did you guys ever see Evolution?
No, never seen.
Is that the
movie?
one with the spiders?
It's Duchovny and I think it's Wayans Damon Jr. No, I don't remember exactly, but it's I don't know. This kind of reminds me of that, the way you're talking about it. It was kind of slapdash but fun.
Who was
Aliens.
your favorite cameo in this? Mine has to be Daisy Ridley with the American accent on like the tonal mirror training thing. That whole thing was fucking weird. And then the fact that she shows up at the end, I don't know why I'm here.
Yeah. I think my favorite is got to be James McAvoy right at the end.
Oh, that's
near
right.
the end there.
Oh,
Why are you
'Cause
running?
why are you running? And then he just starts running after her. Like, I like that because it was like he thought he was like an X-Men, right? And it just sort of plays in this whole like self-centered actor thing. If that was the theme, at least that theme was consistent. Like everyone was super self-centered and not very likable on their own. And so the James McAvoy cameo sort of, reinforced that idea. So and then
the fact that Karen Gillian, right?
Gillian
is like,
She makes the Xavier.
makes the Xavier reference, which was I thought,
and she's like, I've done other
things on that.
I was the beast. He should have been like, I was the beast. And,
I was the. Oh no, he should have like thrown back to like I was Paul Atreides' son in the sci-fi Dune Children of Dune book.
Oh yeah, that's a long time.
That was like his one of his first like breakout roles was
Yeah.
that, which is fucking weird. Well, that scared the hell out of me.
Oh my.
Is your house falling apart?
Learman put something somewhere and just slipped, but we're fine. Everything's fine.
All's good.
It's all good.
all
Just
is
blame
good.
Learman. It's fine. Blame Learman.
Leah man.
You both have said there are too many characters in this film.
I don't think there's too many characters. They didn't make anyone the lead.
You put in this outline, there are too many characters.
Yeah, but I wanted to make as a prompt for me to look smarter, and then say there aren't too many characters.
Go fuck yourself.
But I think the issue with the movie is they kind of tried to make Karen Gillian's character the lead, but they don't necessarily fulfill that. And they try to give everyone some equal time, but that doesn't work either. and there's no real like point of view. They try to give like all these characters kind of moments to shine, and it just doesn't work in the context of this movie. I feel like, and everyone just feels half baked.
Channing Tatum.
What?
I was sorry. I was just remembering other cameos.
Wait, Channing Tatum was in the movie?
Not Channing Tatum.
John Cena.
John Cena.
John Cena.
I get them
you didn't
confused.
ask me my favorite. That
I'm
would
not
have been
surprised you
my
didn't see
favorite.
him.
Yeah, I get them confused.
Because he was on an iPad. They literally
Yes.
just zoomed him that day. And
Yep.
they're like, can you film this from your home?
I mean, that was pretty funny. Yeah.
Christian, did you have a favorite cameo?
You already asked
Yeah,
him.
James McAvoy.
Oh, that
Charles.
was- yeah.
You
Charles-
asked him.
Charles
You didn't
Xavier.
ask me.
I know.
God,
I
you
get
asked me
confused.
twice.
Hey, I'm not going to ask Jordyin, but Christian, what was your favorite cameo?
See, what's happening here is my attention span is like, as we're talking
the
about
TikTok.
TikTok, man.
Just going
It's
somewhere
Christian,
else.
do you think there are too many characters?
Let's just start repeating.
Hey,
let's do
I'm
the
curious. I'm
let's
curious
do the-
what your
let's-
favorite cameos are.
He was going to say something.
Oh, go for it.
Who?
Who? You?
Krishna. Krishna was going to
No.
say something about characters.
Oh yeah, did you have
Oh.
a favorite cameo, Krishna?
You know, I think I really like James McAvoy.
I love it when he's
Cameo.
running.
yeah. No, for the characters, I have not said that there were too many characters. Honestly, I think like Jun said, the character stable is fine. My issue is that they clearly were trying to make Karen the protagonist, but they gave everyone else's motivations and issues in the movie just as much screen time. And I think that's why it's really hard to pin a theme in the movie, right? If they had just made, I think the movie, at least the what is this movie about, would be an easier question to answer if they had just made Karen's problem more central and given it a bit more screen time and developed it a little bit more instead of having just a couple of scenes every 20 minutes of her, right? Like they sort of like, it's your turn, now it's your turn, now it's your turn. And by the time we get back to her, some other things have happened. But if she's the viewpoint character or the protagonist, you've forgotten about that, of that stuff. So, yeah, the character size is, the stable is fine. It's just they gave everyone too much, try to give, like Arjun said, everyone like equal time, which doesn't work. The
Would
end.
you want to see a sequel to this? A sequel
No.
wouldn't work though either, right?
You
Like,
could
what would
call
be the
it-
point?
You could call it like The Wave.
The Wave?
Because, it's a bubble, and then
Yeah.
bubbles turn into waves.
Do you think the title of the bubble? I guess I was gonna say, is there any relationship to the NBA bubble? But then I realized that's what everybody was calling these pockets. They were calling them bubbles. See, that's a movie about pandemic and bubbles. The NBA bubble, like a fake, like fictitious story of what happened there. That would be interesting.
Hey, Ravi, let me ask you a question.
Yes,
Why do you think LeBron hasn't played a lot in the last few months and weeks?
because he's making a documentary about the bubble.
He's making a movie and a documentary.
I thought it was because he sucked.
No, he sprained his ankle actually pretty bad.
I'm pretty sure the Lakers are terrible.
Well, they're out of the playoffs.
Yeah. Good job, guys. Let's bring up all those tweets and things that all the NBA or the Lakers and Lakers stands were fucking going on.
We
about.
believe Lakers.
Yeah, idiots.
They're a good team.
Real quick, I know we're like all over the place here. Celtics are still in it though to win
Celtics
it.
are doing really well.
Yeah, which is surprising.
Well, they were
I
dead in the
put-
water like in December.
I'm not going to lie. I might have put some money on them to win the championship.
Whoa, we can't talk about betting.
That's illegal.
I didn't say it was a bet. I just said I put some money down. Maybe it was a friendly bet.
Yeah,
Maybe me
Christian
and
took some
Lehrman-
money. He put
put
it
it-
on his toilet
he puts
seat.
it
He put
down.
the money down.
and I flushed it down the toilet.
Yeah. Kind of like
How
what they
dare
did
you.
with the budget with this film, the bubble.
Is it bubble?
Does anyone have anything positive about the movie? And I'll start.
Oh, I do too, actually.
I did chuckle quite a bit, like more than I thought I would. Like the first 30 minutes are definitely tough for the film because it's like
45. The first 45 are tough.
because it's like, oh yeah, it's Hollywood doing whatever, and then it gets kind of weird, and like Pedro Pascal being there I think helps because I'm a Pedro
Yeah.
Pascal stan.
Keegan.
I'm a Keegan stan.
Great.
Anything with Karen, Gillian.
Gillian.
Yeah, it was actually like on paper a great cast.
Yeah, great cast. I think it was just directing was bad, Judd.
I think the edit probably has something to do with it too.
Yeah.
I thought the edit was a little strange, just in terms of the pacing and where we were. Like the opening scene with them already in the bubble, like at the hotel and like a casino part, and talking to those guys like they're producers when they're not producers at all during the movie, felt like just like a reshoot and like something that was completely different and just a weird way to tonally start the movie. So I don't know. There's just a lot of weird choices, but yeah, I thought the comedy was good. For a Netflix movie, the rendered CGI which they showed us, I've seen worse. It wasn't that bad, honestly.
Yeah, it's called Moon Knight.
Well, I mean,
CGI
the bad
dog shit.
the bad CGI though, like kind of
Halo.
helps though, right? Like,
Yeah.
we're watching them make this really shitty Cliff Beast 6.
Film.
Which, by the way, I kind of want to see like a real life trailer for. I was more interested almost in seeing
what,
that
Cliff
movie.
Beasts?
Yeah, in
Beasts?
Cliff Beast
Beasts.
6.
I do like
Cliff
the ending of the
Beasts,
Cliff
yeah.
Beast though, where it's like Pedro's characters and we have to kill them all, and then
That was
he
hilarious.
dies,
Yeah.
and then they're like, "Oh, he's right," and then they start killing and shooting them all in the dick,
Yeah.
jellyfish dick. Excuse me.
Yeah, but that was part of their plan to escape, right?
Right,
With the blow
right.
up after that.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, that was, like I said, the drug scene was, I thought, pretty funny. The whole and like Ravi said, I think that whole drug scene and then Pedro Pascal like dying and then coming back to life, that was probably my favorite part of the movie. And you know, again, it doesn't really relate to anything else that happens in the movie, but that little gag right there, I thought was really funny. I think I was laughing a lot during that part.
Do you,
Well, I was gonna say, what about the part where Leslie Mann's like running, like Leslie Mann's
Oh,
character's
yeah,
running away
shocking.
and her hand gets shot off? I was
Right.
like, what the fuck?
Yeah, at that point, I had hope. I was like, oh, maybe this movie, you know, maybe this is where the movie changes it. You know,
I thought it was gonna
it's
be a
sort
shift, like they're all gonna die or something. And
Yeah.
It's so,
become,
and
like,
it
a
sort of
weird
did.
thing.
Yeah, it sort of
they
did.
sort
They
of, like,
just
get
didn't go
picked
enough
off.
into it. Yeah, it seemed like it was going to turn into like a real life, or you know, like a comedy horror movie, like they're being held against their will on this film set, which they were. They just didn't go. If you know, if that's what the movie was going to be about, they didn't go far enough into it. It's just
Right.
her hand gets shot. You're like, oh my god, and then after that, it's like, okay, well, you know, that was it. That was the highest.
And she's the only one that.
stakes of
Well,
the
she
movie.
leaves, and then Gus Kahn's character.
He leaves before.
He
that.
left. He leaves before.
right.
He's the first one. Yeah.
During their yoga meditation.
Right.
You said you had a favorite part.
I think for me, no, I just saying the CGI, the comedy, and then I thought the CGI wasn't awful and it fit within the
No,
context
quote.
of the
I have
movie.
seen better.
Yeah, I have. No, I said it's not the worst I've ever seen.
No, he's seen worse.
No,
I've
I
seen
really
worse.
like that. That should be our June review of the Bubble. I have seen.
I have seen better.
It's not the
seen
worst.
better.
It's not the worst movie. That might go to Morbius. But it's not the
That's true.
Best movie.
either.
Interesting. In terms of this film, like the one thing I think is interesting with Judd's movies is they typically, I think, age better. You know, like 40-Year-Old Virgin when that came out, there was definitely good hype, but then like as time has gone on and like I was first exposed to that like later in college.
Yeah.
You know, it was like a very much like, yo, let's get high and watch this stupid ass movie.
Feels like a lot of Judd Apatow movies.
Yeah, exactly. Do you think this movie will? Because again, like to the point of like, some people are definitely traumatized by the pandemic and what happened. This movie does kind of make fun of the idea of like, for Hollywood, you know, it wasn't, you know, Hollywood is its own different like tier of people and money and whatever, and like a lot of them did not experience the pandemic the same way like you or I experienced it, right?
Right.
And this movie definitely pokes kind of fun at Hollywood itself for that like lack of like read the room,
Self-awareness.
whatever, right? But do you think like this film in like 5 years, you know, knock on wood, we don't go through another pandemic or lockdown again? Is this something that you go back and you're like, oh yeah, haha, it's kind of funny? Maybe it's just not as funny right now because, you know, we're still in it kind of ish, maybe.
I would say possibly. I think the whole framing of the pandemic is a good point, Ravi, because I would be curious because I found myself getting irritated at parts in this movie. I'm like, why am I watching a movie about self-righteous actors who are struggling in their movie set bubble, right? And I found like the premise like a little irritating, on that level. Given some time, I think it would become a better movie. I will say I think almost every single Judd Apatow movie I've ever seen, I disliked
The first
a
time,
lot.
yeah.
The first time. And
Yep.
then I was able to get past it, or I knew what I was expecting the second, the third, and the fourth time. And it became very enjoyable. I will say, though, those first 45 minutes of the movie are tough. I mean, that first 45 minutes of this movie is real tough. Like I said, I turned it off after that first 45 minutes, and I was like, I am not watching this.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I did turn it back on because it does get better, but still, you can't have poor starts like that.
This almost feels like a movie. If I ever did go back to it, it's like a movie I would like want to catch, like on TV, where it's like halfway down or a third of the way through or something. Like I don't need that beginning. I really don't need the end. It's just like, let me get to like one
The
of the
gags in
funny
the middle.
gags and one of the funny bits.
Well, it's a Netflix thing, so you'll probably never see it on TV unless you're in a foreign country.
It's possible. I've been to
Do you
foreign
think?
countries.
Wait, Arjuna, what if they implement a chapter listing?
Then I'll
You can just skip.
You
to
can
the
you can
chapters
fast
that
forward on
want to.
Netflix, right?
yeah, but
You don't have to watch it in real time.
I want
Without having
Netflix.
to
I want
fast forward
Netflix to
it,
do
though.
like channel surfing, and just program some stuff in so I can mimic my early 2000s days of channel surfing. So I could just go through, and then one day that's on.
You know what would be hilarious? Like April
Great.
Fool's obviously just passed, but that would have been funny if Netflix was like channel surfing, new feature coming soon, where you can just
should
mindlessly
have.
scroll through nothing.
Or the Netflix channel. Tune in for all your favorite Netflix
Oh yeah,
streaming.
an
directly
actual
to the
Netflix channel
That'd
streamed
be
on
funny.
cable. That would be pretty funny. I think it's that time, guys. We have to ask that question. Like I said, this was gonna be a short one.
Wow, you really wanted to get to that 30.
I did actually, because there's not a lot to say, and I feel like our answers to the age-old question of was it good will bring up more discussion. So I want to get to here first.
Wow. So we should ask you first,
Yes, go ahead.
Ravi.
Hold on, let me sit up straight.
You're wrong.
Thank you for your time.
No.
But
Ravi,
If you
was-
say yes,
Ravi, was the bubble good?
no, it wasn't good. Are you fucking stupid? Why the hell would I say yes, you goddamn weirdo?
Because you've said yes
because
to some weird shit.
you were building it up like you were gonna surprise us.
I'm building it up
didn't.
for the audience.
Oh, they know.
Wow, you're a real showman.
We are like Hugh Jackman in The Greatest Showman.
huge jacked man.
Yeah, huge jerk man. Krishna, was the bubble
This is the other
good?
wild card. Krishna sometimes says yes to things that are bad.
So do
My
you.
one-word impression was shit.
Right?
Unfortunately, Ravi, you're not asking the question, was it shit? You're asking, was it good? And the answer then is no, it was not good.
Oh boy.
And I think
surprised.
that's pretty obvious. We don't need to rehash it. It's painful enough.
Damn.
Arjuna.
Damn.
Arjuna was the Netflix original movie directed by Judd Apatow, The Bubble, good.
I've got to say, this was a really good movie at being bad. Because it brings me a lot of joy. And by joy, I mean not joy. But it was bad, yes. It was not good. I would not recommend this to even my worst enemies.
Wow.
When we're off air, I'm going to ask you.
what about
who
for
that
the
is.
funny gags?
You
I'd
know what?
recommend it. I'd recommend
There's
it to my
redeeming
enemy.
qualities.
I
Like,
would.
This movie's better than Morbius.
You know
Say
what?
that.
You know what's funny? So this movie came out roughly 2 weeks ago now.
Yeah.
Our parents watched it the first weekend it was out.
Oh,
And they
no.
both said it was really good.
No, Dad fell asleep.
Well, that's right. Dad fell asleep, but Mom said it was good.
Mom said it was weird, and she's like, it was good. And then she's like, there was a pause, and she's like, I think.
Did she fall asleep too?
I mean,
She might have.
I'm sorry. Our parents, we love them dearly, but they have notoriously bad movie takes.
You could just say bad takes.
No. Christians
Wait,
are
notorious.
Notorious.
They're famously
Notorious.
bad.
You
famously
guys need to have
bad.
them on more.
We should.
Yeah, I mean, we could, but then they'd just be fighting. I mean, that makes for good TV.
Yeah,
Yeah,
social
that makes
clips.
for good podcast. Shut up.
And with that, I think that's going to do it for us here on Was It Good? We haven't figured out our next pod as of yet. But as always, follow us on Twitter at Was It Good, on TikTok and Instagram at Was It Good Pod to find out what the next pod's going to be on. We post these full episodes of the pod in full, beautiful moving picture. On youtube.com/wasitgood. We also have our website, wasitgood.info. We have a couple new blogs up there around WonderCon 2020, which we were at last weekend. Definitely check those out if you want to kind of get a behind the scenes and what a convention looks like in this new world. As always, stay good.
Stay frosty, my friends.
No, we should have a better one like, stay was it good.
Good it was.
Stay good works.
Steak good. Be a steak. Goodbye.
Boop.